Welcome back to the Isolation Station. This is episode 5. Oh, hello. Do you want to join in on the yoga today? This episode is a yoga one. Today I have Regan on. She's a yoga instructor. This is going to be a super great episode. Just considering what's going on, yoga can definitely keep you sane while you're quarantined at home. We had a chat about how yoga is not only for the body as much as it is for the mind. Anyways, thanks for tuning in and enjoy the episode. Hey!
Hey!
So, I am so sorry.
Don't worry about it.
We had such a great chat.
That's alright. I'm happy to do it again.
You know what happened last time? It was nice out, and I was like, you know what, I want to sit outside, but I don't want all my neighbors eavesdropping on my conversation, so I'm going to put headphones in. And then apparently when you do that, it messes up the software I use to record, and it doesn't record the audio. Like, you have to switch it, and so now I know.
Yeah. Well, I got lots of free time, so.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be a little repetitive because I want to ask those. We had such a great conversation and some good questions, so.
Yeah, well, you can ask me the same ones.
Yeah.
I'll probably have like a better answer for them now.
Yeah.
I've already.
All right, let's start again.
What they are.
What do you do, Regan? What do you do?
I am a yoga teacher.
Yep, that's good. And you had a class this morning, right?
Right now, yeah, I taught at 10 o'clock this morning.
Nice. How'd it go?
It was really good. It was good.
Good.
Yeah.
How are you liking it?
It's still weird.
Yeah. Well, I think
It's weird.
last time we were saying before you can kind of read the room, right? And now you have no idea if people are like, if you're going too fast or too slow or, yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I had my mom with me today.
Oh, nice.
So that, and like my sister's been doing it with me too. So I can get like a little bit of an idea of what to say, but it's not the same as when you have like a big group of people. But
yeah. Are they enjoying having a yoga instructor at home?
Yeah, oh my gosh. I just think it's still awkward, like teaching to my phone. And it just makes it like a little bit less weird if someone's here with me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I talked to Emily Chanda after you, and she said that's pretty much what's keeping her sane. She says she's been on the yoga mat like all the time.
Yeah, it's really helpful. And I think like the first like week or two, I was not doing yoga. And just because I was like just so grumpy about being at home and not working and not being in the studio.
So you normally do hot yoga, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I love the heat.
How's the change? Or do you miss the hot yoga?
I miss it. It's so different than doing it at home, like not in the heat.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I forget, what was the temp? It's pretty hot.
It starts off at like 95, 96-ish. And then once you get a bunch of people in there and they start moving,
it gets hotter.
It climbs up to like around 98.
See, to
so
me that doesn't sounds not fun, but I'm sure I would love it.
Yeah, it takes a while to get used to the heat.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like it took me like at least a week of straight classes, and I was going like every day.
Yeah. From
to get used to the heat.
The people I've talked to, they said once they switched over to hot yoga, they can't go back. They have a hard time going back to regular yoga.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I guess
I was hooked. Like the first class I did, I was like, it's hot in here, but
yeah, you're sweating more. I feel like your body feels like it's gotten a better workout, and I get it. Hold on, I had questions written down. Let me find them. was going to ask you the same one. So
I think I remember you asking me about what the heat does.
Yeah, so what does it do? What's the benefit?
Like why do yoga in heat?
Yeah, why do it in heat?
I mentioned this concept of fascia last time.
Right.
Which is basically like a web type wrapping that surrounds your muscles. And then when you put your body in the heat, it allows that web to move more freely, and it allows the muscle fibers to slide easier. So you get like it's easier for your muscles to move and to stretch in the heat.
Yeah.
And then it also, being in the heat also, like you can teach your body how to cool down more efficiently if you chuck it in the heat, and then it'll learn how to cool down. And then when you're like hot in normal life, your body knows how to cool itself down better. The heat also allows blood flow to be more free, and it allows your blood to move better throughout your body.
Yeah.
So it gives your mind something to like focus on. So it encourages focus for your brain.
So how long have you been doing yoga for?
I've been doing yoga for probably about like 7 years ish.
Yeah, and you got hooked right away?
Yeah, so it's been a good chunk of time.
Yeah. What was your first experience of yoga? What were your thoughts? Do you remember?
I did hot yoga right away.
Oh, you did? You went right at it.
Yeah. I was straight in the hot room.
Good for you.
For my first class. It was a power yoga class.
Isn't that that's a hard one, right?
Power yoga. Yeah, it was hard. And I remember thinking, holy shit, it's hot in here. Like, how am I gonna do like an hour of this in the heat?
Yeah.
So that was like my first thought. But then, like, I was hooked. Like, right after the first class, I was like, hey, we have to come back tomorrow. And then the next day and the next day, and I got used to the heat eventually. And then look at me now, like 7 years later.
Yeah. So for those who want to get into yoga right now, do you have any tips that maybe would be good, especially now because people can't actually go into a studio? Like you're doing.
I know I had a good one last time.
Like you're doing online. You're doing online classes, right?
Yeah, I think now is like the prime time to start yoga.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like free options out there right now. So you don't have to like commit to a membership or like commit to like paying anything right now just because of the situation that we're in.
Yeah.
A lot of people are offering like online, Instagram Live classes. So, and like you don't really need anything. Like you just need a mat.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, I think that would be a tip, would just like start now. Like it's a perfect time to like try it out. And I guess another tip would be to not like be too critical of yourself. Like even especially if you've never done yoga before, like don't expect yourself to get into all the postures like right away.
Yeah, and I think that's a misconception that you have to be super flexible, and if you see the yoga instructor bending right over and touching the floor completely with her flat palms, that if you're not doing that, you're not doing it right. Mm-hmm. But that's not true at all.
Yeah, like, and you don't have to be flexible.
Yeah.
Which I know a lot of people say, they're like, oh, I'm not flexible, so I can't do yoga. But like, yeah, that's a part of it. That's like one component of it, but it's more about like strengthening your body and like learning how your body moves and how your body functions.
And the breathing. Rather
than like how far you can bend over in a forward fold.
Yeah.
Now, my flexibility has definitely improved from doing yoga.
Yeah.
But like I can't do like crazy back bends or like fold my body in half.
So after this quarantine thing, I know you mentioned, what's your studio called again?
Oh, it's called Moto.
Moto.
St. Catherine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they had a whole online program they were designing before this, and then the pandemic hit, and then they launched it early, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think the online stuff would be more popular now after this is over?
I think so. Like, I think, I'm not sure when they were planning on launching it anyway, but I think, like, for any studio that is doing online now, that it's going to be a lot more popular afterwards.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean, like, people aren't going to come into the studio anymore, and, like, in-studio classes will just be totally dead. But I think that because they have, like, as much as it sucks, they have, like, no other option than to do it online.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know if people, like, they might get used to doing it online, and they might like it, and I think a lot of people will shift over to the online after, or at least have it as, like, another option. If you can't get into the studio, then you always have that option of an online class.
Yeah. Expand on the like the meditative, mindful aspect of yoga, because people think like it's a workout, you're just stretching. I think it would be good for people to know.
That's cool. Like, if you just want to come in for a workout, cool, whatever. Like, if you don't really benefit from the breathing and meditation, that's cool.
Yep.
So I'm going to get all sciencey and technical because I knew you were going to ask me this question again.
Yeah.
So I thought about it more.
Great.
So you have your nervous system, and that breaks off into kind of like two branches. So you have your parasympathetic nervous system and you have your sympathetic nervous system. So your parasympathetic nervous system is kind of like the chill one, and then your sympathetic nervous system is like your fight or flight response. So in a yoga class, more so with the heat, but like through the heat and through the postures, you're like intentionally creating a sympathetic response for your body. So you're like stressing your body out and like putting it in a fight or flight position. And you're doing that on purpose, like in order to kind of like teach your body how to react in a parasympathetic way. So in other words, you're stressing your body out on purpose just to teach it like how to calm down in stressful situations. And a big part of that, like doing that, is like through the breathing and like through the breath work that is part of the class. For the most part, for the full class, you're like breathing in through your nose and you're breathing out through your nose. But like when you breathe through your nose, the breath will like hit your sinus, and then it like releases something into your body, which actually tells your heart to slow down. And you don't get that same reaction, you don't get the same response when you breathe through your mouth.
Okay.
So, like, breathing through your nose, I guess, in general, will, like, slow your heart rate down. That's a big chunk of a yoga class, is breathing, which helps calm your body down when you have it in these, like, stressful postures and you're in the heat and your body's kind of, like, freaking out. It's really helpful to have that breath component to help your body calm down when it's stressed out. And then you can take that like off your mat into the world. The real world, yeah. When you're stressed out, like at work or something, or if something stressful happens in your life, then you know that you're able to like use that breath component from your yoga practice, like in your real life too. It's a skill. Deal stress. Yeah, it's a skill you learn that you can use with other things. Yeah, and I know a lot of, like, if some people, like, don't benefit from that, and that's cool. Like, they just want to come in for a workout, then whatever, yeah. And, I remember most sessions start and end with, I don't want to say the wrong term, Savasana? Yeah. And that's, like, pretty much, it's just meditating to get your mindset into it, correct?
Is that right?
Yeah. So the classes we do, we start with a Savasana, we do Savasana in the middle, and then we end with a Savasana.
Oh, okay.
So Savasana, loosely translated, means corpse pose. Traditionally, you lay on your back,
like
feet out to the side, arms out to the side.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's exactly what you said, just to start like connecting with your breath, calming your mind down, slowing your mind, like getting your body, your mind ready for the class. Yeah, so it's exactly what you said.
So do you have any tips for people on how you're dealing with this whole quarantine thing?
I think the thing that made the most difference was that in the beginning, I was just like spending so much time in my bedroom. Like even if I was like doing something else, if I was like doing yoga, I was doing it in my bedroom. If I was like watching TV, I was doing it in my bedroom. I've spent so much time in my bedroom, and just in the past like week or so, I've been like, I will get up in the morning and I'll go upstairs and I'll stay upstairs for like the whole day, and then I'll finally come back to my bedroom. So I think that was like really a horrible thing to do at the beginning, was just to stay in one spot and do everything in one spot. So then I just felt like, oh, I'm stuck here, like, what am I supposed to do?
This is what my life is going to be, yeah.
Yeah, like, go somewhere else in your house, like, go outside. You don't even have to, like, do exercise, just, like, sit outside.
Yeah, don't get stuck in an unhealthy routine.
Yeah.
All right, I have so I interviewed one of my best friends I grew up with. He's in Vancouver now. So I'm going to ask his questions for you. I forget whose questions I asked you last time, but we're going to shake it up. They're actually really good questions. So the first one was, who is the first person you will visit after this quarantine is over?
Probably your brother.
Yeah, I figured. I'll probably do the same.
Yeah. Yeah, he's probably on the top of my list.
Yeah. Luckily, I mean, I'm fortunate and I live with Ashley, but yeah, it's different for me because I don't get to see my parents or my brothers, so.
Yeah.
Okay. His second question from Peter is, what is the strangest thing on Netflix you've watched since the quarantine?
The strangest thing?
Yeah, like the weirdest thing you've watched that you normally. I think he was posing the question like, what's something you've watched that you normally wouldn't, but now you have lots of time to go on Netflix? Have you like veered from your normal self, and have you watched anything out of the ordinary?
Well, I don't know if it's really out of the ordinary for me, but I love like crime documentaries.
Oh, okay.
So I've been watching a lot more of those than I normally would have time for.
Yeah.
And then I've been watching a lot of yoga documentaries too, obviously,
yeah.
Which I also wouldn't necessarily have time to sit down and watch. But I think I've watched like one a week, I think.
Oh, okay. That's not even...
I think I've watched like 6, like all like straight up yoga ones, which have been like really super awesome to watch, especially for me.
Why not expand your education in yoga? All right, before we go, 2 new questions from yourself for the next guest.
Oh, now I have to think of new questions.
And I will make it easier for you. My next guest is Dusty.
Oh my gosh, Dusty!
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It worked out for you because I was supposed to interview him yesterday, but he's been so busy with the farming and stuff, so he pushed to today. So now he's after you, which is good. You can ask the question.
Nice!
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Okay. This is kind of like one that you asked me, but what's the first place that you're going to travel to after this is over?
Yeah. That's good. One of Amelie's good questions she asked me was, what's something from the pandemic that you would put in a time capsule?
That is such a good question.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I really like that you're doing these, because you can watch these back in like 2, 3, 5 years.
Honestly, that's like the main reason I still do YouTube. It's like, I'm not some famous YouTuber. I get like 20 views on these, but it's like, I just enjoy going back. I'm like, oh my god, remember this? And like, you watch it and it's like, wow.
Yeah, especially I think in like 5 or 10 years, like, it'll just be so funny to like see what everyone was up to. And, like what everyone was doing like at this time.
And my memory's so poor, so YouTube's just such a great spot to store. Store stuff. I'll let you think about that.
Oh, I have a question.
Okay.
What has been your favorite quarantine meal that you've made, or something that you baked? Because I know a lot of people are baking and cooking a lot more than they normally do.
Yes. Well, thanks for chatting again. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Don't be sorry.
Well, keep up with that yoga, and I hope the online yoga does well.
Thank you.
Yeah, say hi to the parents, and hopefully you'll get back into the studio soon.
Yeah, I hope so. Missing it for sure.
All right, thanks for chatting.
Ask for me.
I will. Cooper's right here.
Oh, look at little Coop.
That's why I opened the door. He wanted to get in, so say hello.
Hi, Coop. Oh, look at little Coop.
He's enjoying the sunlight.
I love it.
All right.
Well, lovely to chat with you.
Yeah. No, it was good. We'll chat again soon.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right. Take care.
See ya.
See ya.
Later, Drew.